Hey guys, Joe from J&M Concrete here. This week we are doing a driveway with the back pad. It is going to be 4th of July, so we have to work a little bit more than what we're used to every day, but if it gets it done by the end of the week, we'll have somewhat of a long weekend and we're excited for it. Don't forget to leave us a like, subscribe. Glad to be back, guys. We were coming off of a vacation, so we forgot the camera. We had to go back and get it, and you guys didn't get to see us compacting the soil that was here with the jumping jack, but I can promise you we absolutely did it because we don't want this to go anywhere. When we were done getting the back ready, we still had some time left into the day. So I decided to do this half of the driveway and put our road base on the other half. Just try and make some progress for the following day. Since this was done the week of 4th of July, there wasn't much we were going to be able to do in terms of progress for the job site. So we try to do as much as we can every day. And while our guy was getting this ready here, I was in the front tearing out at least half of that remaining driveway. Here's the other half that was left over. We came back the following day, started tearing it out. It all came out pretty well. That's one good thing about these track homes. They don't do the driveways very well or most of the flat work, so tearing it out is pretty easy. You guys can see that orange mark that's right there. That was a 4-inch white PVC pipe that was going under for irrigation that was being ran through. The problem here was whenever they installed it, they crushed it. And then I actually made the mistake of cracking the pipe where it's orange, which led me to investigate to make sure I didn't do any damage. And then I noticed there was water inside the pipe. So we ended up digging this out and we found out that it was flattened. I don't know how they got the irrigation lines here through the first place, but thanks to my mistake, we actually found out a bigger mistake, and we were just kind of happy it worked out that way. The customer wanted to pay us for the work, but we're like, nah, we're good. Even though it's a little frustrating to make a path for it, we always try and find a way for the power buggy to get in here, especially on a small pour like this. It was only 2.5 yards, or more like 3. We wanted to make sure we could get the power buggy in there. Getting it down was the hard part, but once we got it down, me and my wife were able to go to the front and continue to work on the driveway in the front while our guy started finishing the concrete here. This was the day before we were meant to pour the driveway. So while he was finishing concrete here, we were in the front busting our butts. We went longer and harder than what we normally do, worked later in the day, but that afforded us the ability to have this job wrapped up and cleaned up by 4th of July morning versus having to work that day. So we were just glad we were able to pull this off on a holiday week, on a shorter week. We only have one camera, so while I was hitting this with the jumping jack, the camera was in the back showing you guys us prepping it. So just like the back and the front, you guys never were able to see us hit this with the jumping jack, but we hit both the back and the front, make sure it didn't go anywhere, and then we laid down about 3 to 4 inches of road base here, got that irrigation line under there so that we can move forward with the pour, and everything came out really nice on the prep side of things. All right, guys, so there it is. We're good to go. We have about 3-4 inches of rotobase here. We had to take out this pipe that was here, irrigation. It was a 4-inch pipe, and it wasn't flat like pressed down, it was up and down flat, so it got squeezed from its sides, and it was about 1/2 inch thick, and it was a 4-inch pipe flattening this much where the sprinkler lines couldn't make it through, so we had to relay them. Even though we had to relay it crooked, you normally want to have it go straight across, this thing curved, but we followed what was there. We poured the back yesterday, came out really nice. We're kind of glad. We were going to do both of them at the same time with a lot more help, but it's always better, anybody who does concrete knows, if you can just pay attention to one side without having to think of another, it's always better if your attention is on one specific spot versus hopping back and forth between two. But here's this one. I just watered it. I'm going to hit it with some saw cuts. It came out gorgeous. Our joints coming off the window well really good. It's still not perfect. They can still crack off the window well funky, but this came out real nice. I'm really happy with it, and I'm hoping the customer will be happy with it. This shouldn't go anywhere for a long time. See you guys at the pour. Concrete truck will be here in like 20 minutes. Bye-bye. Another detail that made this job really cool, across the street, one lot over, they had the whole neighborhood concrete washout area for all the pours that are going on in here. Yes, this neighborhood is really, really new, and we're already coming in to replace some of the work they did. That's kind of normal, but it really helped us out knowing the truck could just go down the street and wash out, and I didn't have to really worry about that. So we had a little bet here between me and my guys. They didn't use a straight line on that bottom joint right down the middle. They eyeballed it, and I told them, no, guys, you need to run a straight line. And they said, no, we're going to be able to pull it off. Just watch. And believe it or not, guys, they eyeballed that middle one, and it was perfectly where it needed to be. I guess the team we have really knows what they're doing. Ha, ha, ha. Hey guys, Joe from J&M Concrete here. Pour went well, last thing's done. Check it out. Came out really, really nice. We extended it out that way. We chose not to have the concrete wrap around the water main. If you can't have it, don't, unless you absolutely have to. If it's somewhere in the middle, well, there's no way around that. But there it is, guys. Next week, we are doing a 12-yard colored concrete driveway. Kind of delicate, a lot of little details. We want to avoid damaging new asphalt that's around it. Bunch of stuff, but don't forget to leave us a like, subscribe, stick around for next week. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.